I mean, he made it all the way through the bracket and only really got stopped by Seggo.
Because, I mean, this is the similar situation we saw at Heatwave 5, right? Where Seggo ended Cake's massive tournament win streak, right? It was, again,
yeah, it was
Seggo
also
winning from winner's side. Cake got the reset, and then Seggo closed out that final set.
Yeah, but now the question is, can he get the reset and take the tournament?
That's
I would never bet against loser's side Cake at Genesis. So, you know, if I was a betting man, I don't think I could put money on anyone else.
I think ZB would be willing to side bet with you on that. I'm gonna be real with you.
Seeing the degree, though, that Seggo has been able to clutch out so many incredibly tense situations, like, I forgot how to breathe watching him play against Soul Rifle yesterday. Yeah. And he's been coming out on top over and over again. His clutch factor might actually rival Cake's.
This is it. We've got grand finals here at Genesis 9. We've got Seggo on the winner's side, and we've got Cake Assault coming from losers.
Yeah, this is all on the line here for Cake. If he wants to maintain and get himself a 5th Genesis win, he has to take it here. But an opportunity for a new champion of Rivals of Aether.
Oh, absolutely. And I mean, like, that is kind of the storyline. Like, Seggo could be the 3rd person ever to win a Genesis, and that in itself is massive. And Cake wants to protect that. He wants his 4th win.
It's been his basically since 2018.
He wants the 3-peat too. Like, this would be the 3rd Genesis in a row that he would win.
Here we have right now both players at such high percents and both scrambling so hard that up special not going to kill Cake with such great DI.
Yeah, a great back air too to take out the crystal.
Gets the tech, air dodges down to avoid the forward strong, and Seggo knows to just keep waiting. The teleport has to happen to get him back on the stage.
Yeah, he can only stall for so long before he has to come back. Like, there's no getting around it, you know? All right, and again, Seggo able to get through with a lot of these side beats. I'm not seeing like a whole lot of defensive options from Cake in regards to it. Like, I'm not seeing any, like, I feel like he can maybe be using the Cake to kind of like get around, like to at least stuff it out. Even if he doesn't get a huge punish off of it, if he's trying to contest it with a hitbox, he could use the Cake because it's very disjointed. Oh God, here we go again. We saw that earlier in Game 2 of Winners Finals.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of the main thing to put together. The players that have been giving a lot of pressure onto Seggo have had stronger answers to that side special. So if Cake can put that together on his edge guarding repertoire, he can really do some damage here.
Yeah, and oh wait, doesn't get the forward air there, but is able to at least get back to stage. Canceled the up B. Oh,
that well-placed back air, and Seggo is ready cross stage to get that pop onto the teleport appearing, and Seggo is now up 2 stocks, 173% to start off grand.
I was about to say we might be looking at a 3-stock, but Cake does get the carry on the down tilt and gets the down strong, stops the bleeding a little bit, which, I mean, in this case is very good, because again, this is he doesn't have a second set to play with right now.
Oh my gosh, the stock!
That almost was, yeah,
that was almost the whole thing right there. Oh, great fastfall through Seggo.
Just backing away from that situation the moment the parry whip.
Yep.
And right now, it's almost like Cake Assault is just kind of testing to see where the pressure points are for Seggo. Where are the moments that a parry is going to come out in strings right now?
Yeah, and I think one thing that he has to do is kind of find his way around the buttons and find and be confident in knowing when Seggo will and won't flinch. Like you said, you got to find out where the pressure points are, and you have to find out where. Yep, there it is. There's a down strong right there.
Not going to close out the stock, still putting Seggo at so high, but at the same time, right, this down strong will close it out for Cake, but he's at 102% against Seggo's Olympia.
Yeah, and I mean, like, this is, yep, there it is. There's the up B off of the up air, and that's going to do it. Game 1 going to Seggo. But we did see a little bit more adaptation there. We saw that he was starting to react to when Seggo was coming down with buttons, getting parries and clearing out the stocks. And I think that's kind of what might need to happen at the very least with some of the more decisive moments. We might see more anti-airs with Cape. We might see more contesting the side B with the Cape. We might see more like call-outs on these more aggressive options and force Seggo to start respecting his space more. Because I don't think Seggo's doing a whole lot of that. I think he's just kind of saying, oh, you know, I'm not really, yeah, I mean, you're Cake Assault. That's cool. That's really neato burrito. But I'm still playing Olympia. I'm still like, I've beaten you before. I've beaten you 3 times before. I know what makes you tick just as much as you do.
Yeah, like, you're Cake Assault, but you can still die, and I'm really good at making that happen. Like,
exactly.
Let me get in there, and I can make it work, especially after...
yeah, just like that right there. We saw that crystal combo.
We have actually the pick here for Endless Abyss, right? This is a stage where it's nothing but ground game. Considering how much ground that Olympia can cover here, I guess maybe the idea is to just try to keep the juggle going as much as possible when you manage to win, or to keep relying on those footsies and anti-airs as a way to repel Seggo's falling. But at the moment, ooh, the second teleport breaking
Yeah, the
focus.
second clone was able to break the focus, which is insane. Because, like, you wouldn't think, like, oh, you know, I can do that with my clone. I could do that with, like, maybe my, with my Nair,
Yeah.
you know? I don't really have that many multi-hit moves. The fact that Kate can think of doing that is so powerful. And just right there, takes the stock. This is also a stage that Forsburns normally don't really like because they don't get mix-ups when they try to get back to stage. This is a stage that I see like 99.999 because, you know, I want to make sure that no one's calling me out on anything. They normally ban the stage.
Yeah, I mean, I have to wonder if part of it is the way that Keikasol manages to get on stage don't really have to do with maneuvering the platforms. It has to do with when he timed the button on his way back, right?
Yeah, thing of, well, we got a reversal edge guard situation right now.
Air dodge crucially recognizes the jet pop about to happen.
Yeah, air dodge is down as well, just so he knows he'll be able to get back to stage even faster.
Yeah.
In a bit of a rough spot right now, though. Yeah, go super deep for it. But again, thankfully, it just sends Cake back onto stage.
Right, Seggo had to face it that way so he could actually recover.
So unfortunate.
Oh, that little smoke stall into up air was nice.
Yeah, it was super nice. Trying to get these down tilts and these dash attacks into the up air, or the up strong there, just go, instead of going for the up strong there, just went for the Cake down strong. I think Seggo wasn't really too worried about needing to air dodge out of the up strong, so he was just like, oh, you know, I'm chilling. But then Cake said, it's like,
right now, like, Cake's awareness of spacing has been so great this game. Right, we saw him outspace the side special, but also in the juggle using kind of cape as a way of catching a focus dash in a single direction, right?
Yeah.
Bringing that up more too.
We saw right there a little baby dash jab just to kind of get that starting hit. Oh, falls back into the up B. 57% is almost nothing on Seggo right now.
Yeah.
Because we've seen him take stocks and rack up the percent just as quickly.
Oh, yeah. Especially, you know, the other thing I just realized, another great upside of this stage, there are no platforms to be laddered off of.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, there's no platforms to be laddered, but also that means that you have no escape from like the juggle combos that Olympia can do.
Right, but I say that because usually when Seggo's able to take a stock lightning fast, it's because he has that platform to jump off of, right?
True, but right there, we get the up air into the back air. Keikasol taking game 2, staying on the board. The crowd coming alive.
Hip hip hoorays get louder and louder every time.
These young kids with these cheers, I can't understand them, you know?
I mean, it's because they love their boy Sam. And they're so happy that Sam's going to win Genesis 9, as was prophesized in the old times.
Yeah, I mean, Seggo out here trying to stop the prophecy from coming true.
I mean, he's working on his own, like, testament right now, right? The era of Seggo is just potentially around the corner.
Yeah, he wants to make an argument that I could be #1. I mean, granted, it might not be the strongest argument, but if he has 2 super majors under his belt and Genesis 9 from winner's side, I mean, there would at least be, you could have a genuine discussion about it. Even if Cake's won, like, basically everything else.
A Genesis win would make it so I can't recall a stronger argument, right?
Yeah, because, like, Penguins had arguments before where it's been back and forth, and, like, back in 2019, it was probably, like, the closest it was ever really for another person being #1, but Penguin never got there. Penguin never, like, won as many super majors as, like, Seggo has, like, back-to-back, or at the very least, like, over Cake, it's all back-to-back.
I'm actually kind of curious that this stage was left unbanned. I remember hearing, I believe, from RoA that Cake was thinking about banning this stage because it's such short dimensions, so that like Seggo can not only get in, but also you have those high platforms for him to combo off of. We saw some really explosive stuff from Seggo on this stage.
Yeah, I mean, we saw it at Heatwave too. This was the stage that won him the winner's final set.
This is actually, I believe, where he beat Soul Rifle too on their final game as well. Like this is a stage that Seggo does a lot of great work on. Yeah, I mean, this is a fantastic stage for Olympia. I mean, I took Seggo here. It does not end well. From personal experience, I will say it does not end. So now it's Seggo with a slight lead.
A very slight one right now, but manages to get backstage, gets the Nair conversions. And we're seeing Cake back on stage again. Oh, gets the parry on the crystal.
And gets the hit afterwards. Oh, Cake Assault.
And we love to see that too, because like that's such a good swing for Cake. Like you want to be, oh, you can't parry that. That's not real. That's not real.
It's also just so great to like, you have this moment of hesitation now about Seggo in terms of setting up gem field there, because if the idea is Cake's been getting these parry punishes, I can't exist in the field if I'm worried that he's going to parry and reflect it and hit me. That could be a thing.
Gonna live it.
Beautiful DI once again. Falling up there.
Yeah, falling up there to break the crystal. Oh, but he gets the funny.
Was he thinking of parrying again?
I think he was thinking, there's no way he lets it rip. There's no way he lets that rip unless it's full charge. But he did. And I mean, Dan, you can explain like the whole idea there behind the charge down strong adding more range on the crystal field?
I mean, we need to discuss it later because right now Cake just took this game.
Let's go.
2-1 up. Cake Assault on a position to get that reset.
Yeah, and I mean, we're seeing it. This is shades of Heat Wave. I mean, he took the first set of Heat Wave, but Seggo was able to clutch it out and bring it back. But like you said, Dan, this is Cake Assault from loser side plus at Genesis.
I mean, I think there is a vital revision Cake will need to make to the ending of Heat Wave 5. Right?
Yeah.
He can follow the script now, I get the reset, but then in that second set, that's a whole new beast that he has to overcome. But already having this set lead, it's huge if he can take it. If this goes to game 5, that is an undue amount of stress for any human to handle.
Oh yeah, we're going to Neo Fire Capital for game 4. Such a large stage to go to. Like, I think the one thing here is that like, if Cake wants to play the long game, he can. Like, there's no reason that he can't just like kind of chill on the other side of the stage. Like, sure, like the crystal field can be there, but like, you still have to eventually approach me. Like, your crystal field's just now all the way over here.
It's like a third or fourth of the stage as opposed to like half of it.
Right.
Exactly.
I mean, the other thing is I have a feeling Seggo picked this stage because you have like such a nice lead up to a high platforms too. I'm guessing that Cake Assault banned stages that had much easier like access, right?
Yeah.
Like definitely Aramada's getting banned every single game this set.
Yeah, and I love seeing those baby dash jabs just to keep that combo going. Gets the down strong on a whiffed nair punish. Cake Assault going up a stock very, very cleanly in game 4, and this is potential reset point right now. Massive.
This is, and the thing is like the footsies that Cake has been playing right now, beautiful catch on the focus dash high, right?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
This is so far Cake having full command of the spacing, still alive, air dodging past the side special and able to reestablish himself.
All right, gets the nair, but yeah, again, like you said there, good air dodge through. Gets his double jump back, yep.
And we're going for the nair to catch both heights, yeah.
Yeah, the hitbox extension off the clone actually caused that nair to hit Cake Assault and got Seggo the conversion that he needed. Called out the tech away, which is huge, because this sets up for a really devastating edge guard, but Cake Assault gets out of it.
Yeah, we have that 107% on Olympia. Beautiful catch with the down air too. The clone getting in the way, preventing a gem punish.
Yep. All right, Seggo just holds out. He's like, I know I can get away from this. It's like, I'm Olympia. Like, I've got some hefty weight. I'm fine. You know, I'm big chunk. 177 forward strong, still not killing.
I do love forward strong as an answer to a low focus dash though, right? Because you can actually break through the focus and you still are protecting yourself on top of it.
Exactly, yeah. All right, catches the down strong. Cake Assault on potential reset point right now, looking to close it out with a 3-1, unless Seggo has something to say about that.
Seggo hunting this time for a forward air, a similar situation that we saw in their winner set, but Cake Assault does not drift in at that moment.
Right, and just staying just out of range of those side Bs. All right, clone destroyed. Just wavelands onto the stage, doesn't even try to deal with the crystal.
So far, yeah, like the side special off stage has not been paying out for Seggo at all this game in the way that it was.
Waited for that.
So good. Cake Assault.
He's waiting for Seggo to pull the trigger now on those up Bs. Like he's waiting. He shifted his like air dodge beat. Oh, but there it is. There's the crystal pop into the F strong after the tech.
Right, yeah, to just get that extra bit of coverage. And now this is that lower percent range where we know Seggo can still make some fantastic combos into a kill, even here on Fire Capital. And so far, yeah, we have Cake Assault DIing hard out on those nairs.
All right, yep, and the down strong, that's gonna do it. We have a bracket reset.
Yeah, we are watching him adapt live. Like you saw, especially the side special. night and day compared to set 1. You know how much Seggo is able to get off of those. Cake is just baiting it out and then punishing it with dare. We saw a lot there. Down tilt as well.
Both as like a recovery tool and as an extension tool, because Seggo gets so he gets great positioning off of hitting off of it. It can off a combo into other like kills, like up special if the DI is not good on, or rather if the DI is in and he's ready for it, right? Ordinarily such a fantastic tool, but because he doesn't get those hits, like he's still off stage next to Cake, but he's not in like frame advantage.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, right now, like, I feel like if you're Seggo, you might feel like you're kind of on the back foot, like in a pretty big way, because now like Cake's kind of understanding your playstyle habits. You have to adapt to his adaptations, see what he's done, because like you said, Dan, it's live adaptation. Like we're seeing Cake do completely different things from the winner's final set, and now Seggo has to adapt. He's got 5 games to adapt, maybe even less.
Yeah, the second set. Reset of grand finals here. This determines the champion of this Genesis of the season.
I like the skin swap to
Neo Jules Veil.
Neo Jules Veil, and also like an Olympia skin swap too, because like it reminds me of like Evil Ryu when he succumbs to the Satsui no Hana.
Right. You know, I was thinking Garnet from Steven Universe when I see this skin.
True as well. I actually didn't think about that, but that's so true.
Yeah.
That's actually so right.
Because I mean, it's also a gem, but anyway.
Yeah. Oh, he's going deep for these edge guards now too. And that was kind of what was getting him like the KOs like earlier on.
Aiming the focus on clearing up. That's how Cake was ready when he saw that whip. He just decided Seggo's gonna try to hit me again. Wait a little bit longer for the parry this time. Wow.
Yeah, incredible. You saw that he was crouching too. Like I think that's his way of like saying like, okay, you just gotta wait a little bit, just take it easy. You know, don't let him get you too flustered. The crowd is still cheering for Seggo too. Like the people want their boy to win. You know, they wanted to have the lifetime win.
It's to be genuine. It's one of the things I love about the Rivals community is that they cheer whenever anybody does anything sick. Like even if it's like their boy being styled on, they still lose their mind. I've seen it at Heatwave. The crowd cheering when SBS was losing. Like it happens everywhere.
Yeah, I mean.
Well, that's because they don't get to see SBS lose that much.
This is also very true. Yeah, SBS being like one of the most dominant players in the Arizona region.
They're just happy to see somebody able to beat him.
They're like, oh, finally. So he is mortal. He is mortal. He can be beaten. Oh my God,
it's
the crystal spike.
It's okay, Cake.
Yeah. The spacing that Cake had to just barely get away from another up special, and he almost turned it into a kill with that spike, but here's an opportunity getting the up air. Not another spike, going for a forward air that time, and Cake holding on and ready to parry the gem.
Yeah. Right now, oh, that's big. Yeah, it gets caught by the cape into the up strong. Good RNG on Cake's side right now. Up a stock in game 1 of the reset.
I mean, that was something you pointed out about like Endless Abyss, right? Being able to lean on those anti-airs as a way of dealing with Olympia's approaches. She does really love that nair, love the focus dash in the air. And just having that up strong air up tilt has been helping Cake Assault here a lot.
The fact that he just, after jabbing, after doing baby dash jabs, is able to do turnaround down tilts to just DI mix up on the fly. Like, you saw he did it in the air too. It's insane how technical he can be with his character. But Seggo still keeping up. Last stock, game 1.
So, I have to hold my breath because I see, especially with that high platform around, but like, I know Seggo can kill a stock fresh here with this difference. Here we go. Big up.
No, just wake up down strong.
Wake up down strong. A moment of arcane beauty in this Forsburn.
Yeah.
And Cake Assault takes that first game, nodding at the crowds cheering. He's like, okay, I got it.
Then you just gotta hit down strong. You just gotta hit it. You hit it, and you hope for the best.
Yeah, shades of Zedivern. You know, he used to play Zedivern back in 2018, 2019. I think when he started off, wasn't he? Didn't he play Zedivern a little bit?
Yeah, he used Zedivern all the way back at Genesis 4. That's how he was able to beat Ralph. But yeah, Forsburn's always been there, but he's mixed it in.
Yeah, I mean, frame 5, you know? Sometimes you just gotta wake up down strong. Just call out Zedivern.
Yeah.
Call out for the Fire's Roar.
We running it right back on Neo Jules Veil, a new skin of Olympia. Every time one falls, a new challenger arises, but the back air calling out the focus dash.
Yeah, I think the new challenger's gonna have a bit of an uphill battle. I don't think they told this new one
what happened with the old ones.
Yeah, I don't think they tell them right out the gate. It's just like, hey, listen, champ, you're gonna go in. You're gonna have to take out this this little deception character. It's like, what happened to the old one? We don't talk about that.
You're gonna do great, kid.
Yeah, you got it. Just you're a wrecking machine.
But I mean, actually, as we say all that, Seggo is doing a great job on this edge guard.
Yeah, absolutely. Misses the tech again. Oh, gets the air dodge down, is not able to convert.
I think Seggo did the quick math of like, if I went for an up special there to convert, I'd die, and that was the real win, and Seggo knew, right? He was scared at all about that.
0 to death for a 0 to death. All right, you know, maybe it is. Maybe this was what we needed. We just needed a skin swap.
We just needed the Jade.
Yeah.
Seggo's took a little longer though, to be honest.
This is honestly very fair. I think he's a little bit more fan of a Jade than Garnet's, you know.
Everyone has their own birthstone. I actually have no idea what Seggo's would be. I don't know his birthday.
If he wins this game, it might just be Jade. It might be Emeralds. Yeah. All right. Oh, see, there it is again, that turnaround down tilt just to mix up your DI a little bit more. Gets it into a down strong again, and Cake is up dominantly again. 2 stocks to 1 in game 2.
Playing so beautifully on point, having a full stack of combust, and once again, like, Cake keeps sneaking these tiny moments to destroy that gem without dropping a beat in neutral or recovery.
Oh, bit of a misinput. Gonna cost him the stock.
Gets a purple too. Wild.
Yeah, out 31 right now, or 37 on Seggo, and climbing. Kegazal said, no, you don't even get to talk about the percent differential right now. I'm just going to continue killing. Absolutely.
Oh, this is looking like Cake is the one who's going to be tearing this all apart.
Wait, hang on. We have a big combo here.
Looks for it. Going to be a tech and air dodge
this is
right
huge.
past. This could be massive.
No
we
air
have
dodge
no
on
air
the Forsburn
dodge
right now. Has a double jump, and that's it. Clone breaks his butt. Yep. This could be massive. This is all Seggo needs to bring it back.
Oh, I love that Seggo jumping out to kind of threaten the possibility of a jump pop. Oh, man.
This is massive. Again, like, it's one conversion away.
Doesn't
get the parry on the up B.
Oh, good use of a stall after that focus dash. Seggo recognizing that he's been capitalized on there. And Seggo just waiting, stalking that ledge, looking for his prey one more time.
Up B,
not gonna find it. The grip
gonna do it. And Kegazal with a huge pop off. You know, he knew that he basically gave Seggo that game. He knew, oh God, I'm off stage with no air dodge. I've just taken 110% for literally no reason.
And still closing it out after all that. You know, Dan, maybe there is something special about this Genesis stage.
Yeah.
This one magic plays where it makes Cake's like clutch factor grow even
I'll tell
greater.
you, man. If I was a betting man, I would never put money on the other side of the table. I would never do it.
You could go up to ZB right now and be like, listen, I know you would have given me like 10 to 1 odds versus Seggo wins this tournament. I'll take my $200 now.
Yeah,
Thank you very much.
Right.
Dan on the verge of robbing Neo Jewel's Veil blind. All their casinos just completely empty now.
Yeah, we're going back to Olympia's home stage though. The Crystal Oasis here for game number 3.
We have just the tiniest beginning of a lead here. I kind of am wondering what the rationale here is for Seggo's pick on this stage, whether or not it's specifically the lower ceiling or a mix of a bunch of different factors, you know?
I think the low ceiling is definitely going to help with a lot of the carry combos off the top, because I think that has been how he's been able to clear out a good bit of these stocks outside of the, he's been mixing it up a good bit with the forward air spikes as well as the offstage, the sour hits as well, or I guess strong hit really more than anything else. But I mean, in this case, like, you got your up strongs that will also be killing like incredibly early too. I think the platform layout also just gives Olympia a lot to really work with. Boom.
That is a really tough angle to come back on, but never mind.
But he comes back
wrong.
to stage, gets the backer, and rough DI means that Seggo is dying first off that whole exchange, and Cake is now just going to tack on as much extra credit as he can, because at 143, you know Seggo's going to look for it. Yeah, right there. There's the up B.
Cake is just waiting. He is enjoying the pressure he's putting on. Like, we basically had a wake-up DP there, right? It's just like, you can hit air with that.
Oh, here we go. Yep, there we go. Okay, we get it. Forward strong, taunting, getting him back into the swing of things. I know that it's kind of a mental reset for some people. They want to get themselves back into the swing of things. I know Seggo's probably like hitting himself a little bit because he's like, I could have had that game. I could have had it. It could have been 1-1. But no, right now he's on the back foot. He has to make it work. Ooh. Yeah, he has to go for these riskier options.
Yeah, I mean, that's what's at stake here. He needs to reclaim the set. I mean, he is again potentially 2 stocks away from being eliminated.
Oh, there it is.
Oh, sick.
There's that tech, the double crystallize.
Yeah, having the power of that armor against Forsburn on the way up, there's so few ways for him to deal with that.
Yeah, and right now we're seeing it again. Oh, but whiffs it just a little too early on the trigger, and Gets the up strong.
Waits for the parry too, right? Gets that little bit of extra charge. 100% though on this Forsburn. This again, smaller blast zone stage. Olympia can absolutely even this up. Seggo can absolutely even this up.
Yeah, but Cake Assault is one stock away from the 3P. One stock away from winning Genesis 9, but now it's one stock away from being game 4. And it's very doable for a character like Olympia and a player like Seggo.
Yeah, his punish game has just been legendary across titles, across formats. Looking for just one opening, the right hit. And I mean, Cake is not looking to give that at all, right? Completely content to spread out smoke, go to the other side of the stage, and focus on repelling these air approaches.
Every back air makes me inhale just so sharply because it could just spell the end of the run. You don't want to see a down strong pop up. You don't want to see, oh, but you do want to see this if you're a fan of Seggo.
Seggo fans have just a little bit more gas in their tank, but...
Oh, wait. Oh, whiffs the up strong. This is so rough. Oh, stays out of the range of the up strong. That's so big. Again, just staying out of the threat range of all the capes. Doesn't matter if he has to play a little bit slower. He knows that it can spell the end if he gets caught by any of it.
Right. Gets the back air, and Cake Assault secures the 3-peat, taking Genesis 9, triumphing over Seggo in a long grand final. Well, actually for him, quite quick. Cake Assault popping off, justifiably, absolutely #1 in the game. But what a fight Seggo put up. And
yeah, you know, they
gets the hug, yeah.
I know Seggo has been giving Cake a run for his money this whole turn. You could tell that Cake was definitely like feeling the pressure going into Grands because he's like, man, I got to adjust everything. I got to reformulate the whole game plan. And you saw it on the fly. And it culminated in a very confident and very dominant 3-0 in the reset. There was no game 5 this go.
That was right, yeah. It was just 3-0 there, and I think it was game 4 in the first set?
Yeah, 7 games total in Grands, 3-1, then a 3-0. It really shows a whole new level of adaptation. And once again, why Cake is just so far ahead of the curve of everyone else. And we said that last Genesis too.
Yeah.
Like, is there anyone that can really challenge Cake? And I mean, we saw it here. Like, Seggo was able to do it, but again, just like you said, Dan, there's something about Cake at Genesis.
Yeah, it's the experience too, though, because you got to the adaptation goes all the way back to Heatwave, right? Like even those sets, you know, Seggo was able to take it there, but you know, Cake adapting after that tournament, and then even here in winners going down. But then each match looked different. Like what Cake was doing was different each match to the point where eventually Cake was able to 3-0 because, you know, he had just had an answer for, you know, a lot of those tools Seggo was using on Olympia.
Yeah, like we were talking about the side special, but there's also like the amount of times that Cake was just slipping out of Nair into up special, right? Like Cake was just very slightly going right over Olympia's head. Like when you see that happen that often, like that's probably Cake doing something specific, right?
Yeah, it makes Seggo second guess like when he needs to pull the trigger, and you saw like there were slight hesitations where Cake was able to just air dodge through Olympia at that point, and that can be a difference maker because he gets back down to the ground first. He's able to punish the up B whiff, and it leads into so much, especially in those situations where he's not ready to DI a back air. Like we saw so many times where Cake was able to get a cheeky little reversal that just cleans up the stock really quickly, like right before Seggo can get the opportunity to get his momentum going.
Yeah.
But we're going to see some of that.
Perfectly, yeah.
We're going to see some
replays.
of that in the replays.
We're going to get the chance to examine everything that happened right here, right? Because it's just been so crazy to see Cake Assault like start off with such momentum, but like we were talking about earlier, the losers run being really real. It all started there on Endless Abyss, right? Being able to force that ground game and really learn how to deal with Seggo in the neutral there and cement that idea. And from there, being able to just slowly take away tools that Seggo was relying on, finding these kills, finding these games, and getting the reset. And that wake up down strong, I forgot about that.
I would have gotten shook if that happened to me. Like if they just decided, oh, you know, just I'm just gonna down strong there. Yeah.
There's the up special DIing out.
Yeah, that was the game where he was like, it was almost just like completely out of his grasp. Like he almost just tossed that one away. But yeah, Cake Assault able to just close it out there, 3-0. Great use of, like, he was chasing so much with the backers, like really, really high up too, and like forcing those really rough situations for Seggo to kind of deal with.
The thing I just noticed about that game-winning blow, it was specifically Cake making the judgment call to go into the gem field to jump and back air to catch the end of a focus dash nair, right? But that's like, you're opting to go into the gem field where things can go also, like if a gem pop happens, right? Like for that same spacing, that could also be really scary, but just having that confidence of like, this is what's coming next, and this is exactly where where I need to be to punish it.
Yeah, we're seeing right here the final bracket for Genesis 9. Rivals of Aether top 8. Sam, the prophecy was fulfilled, has won Genesis 9. Granted, it was through losers.
Yeah.
But, you know, we'll never keep a good man down. Very dominant performance from, again, Soul Rifle having such a dominant 3-0 run all the way through losers.
Yeah, look at Soul Rifle's matches too. You see here just how crazy this tournament is. Like, we see a lot of 3-0s, 3-1s. Both games against the top 2 players at the tournament, 3-2 Soul Rifle on both of them. And both times really felt like Soul Rifle had the set in hand.
Yeah.
And it kind of just slipped through his grasp. So I think going into next year, like, I think Soul Rifle's on the short list of, you know, potential players to become #1.
Yeah.
Yeah, and here we are. We're with the award ceremony right now. We're giving our top 6 players the congratulatory medals. We have wonderful Lord Bagel.
Getting his finish here on the big stage, something that he had chased for years, and finally getting it here at an event that he wasn't sure was going to happen. And right afterwards, too, BioBurb, an old face that we love to see back in the community, even if it's just for a single.
Still making top 6 finishes.
Still showing it. Like, I haven't competed for a year, but you know what? It's for the charity. It's for the kids.
And, of course, ZB, the chaotic element that we all love so much, getting 4th place. And, of course, we can't forget Soul Rifle as well, taking home 3rd place, and again, giving both Cake Assault and Seggo a run for their money.
Yeah, 2 heart attacks.
Yeah, 2 heart attacks, 2 absolutely amazing performances. And, of course, the People's Champ. Everyone loves this man.
Everybody loves it.
Yeah, everyone loves Seggo. Everyone loves Seggo everyone loves Seggo. 2nd place finish, nothing to sneeze at, especially since he did take the set on Cake and Winners Finals. But, of course, there can only be one champion. There can only be one true winner, and I think we all know who that is.
It's the guy that we've seen here a lot.
He's TMZ's finest esports star. It's Cake Assault, taking home Genesis 9, getting the 3-peat, 4-time Genesis champion, 3 times in a row.
We have the Sam chants coming out from the crowd. They are so happy to see Sam appear for us today. When do we get to see him again? Genesis 18?
Probably. I think it does go by additive value, so we will see him again at Genesis 18.
Can I steal a top 8 performer that's also a commentator?
Yes, you can. Okay, I will be hopping off the microphone for just a moment. Yeah, I'll be hopping off the microphone for just a second.
We have a top 8 photo that you need to be there for, but it's okay. We got me, we got Dan, and we got the chair between us. Well,
exactly. I will be right back. You two can do the winner's interview. How about that?
Oh, well, no, they need the winner for the top 8 photo. We can't do the winner interview. Oh, man. Dan, you're seeing these workshop players, actually, the workshop characters do great damage in here. Mr. Esports Manager, please put on a headphone. Tell us about yourself.
Hello,
Tell us about
Akashi.
Oh, hey, Akashi. love the app set.
What a top 8. What a top 6.
What a season.
What a season.
It's our esports manager here. He managed all the esports this whole weekend.
Yeah.
I will say, so one thing that this Grands did cement, so I think last year, Cake Assault really did kind of put the stamp on, hey, if we're going to go over Rival's entire lifespan, so back to 2015, launch of Early Access, he kind of became the #1 player.
Yes.
Over the course of the game, right? We've had other players, Ralph starting out as the #1 for the first year. Fullstream took that over. Cake kind of stole it from Fullstream. Fullstream tried to take it back a little bit, won a Genesis in there.
Yeah, he did.
But then Cake has gone on this rampage for the last basically 5 years where it's always been a question of Cake and who else, right, when it comes to the tournaments. This win in particular, you know, there were starting to be some kinks in the armor. He just went 10 in a row, but the Olympia gave him a scare, and he decided, you know what, no, I'm 100% putting the stamp down. This is it. In terms of Rivals of Aether, the platform fighter that we've all been playing now for years and love, he has the legacy. He's cemented as, you know, in my mind at least, #1 player, #1 to do it. And,
easily.
He's just his adaptation, really. That's what sets him apart from. He's just so good at adapting to not only players but characters that come out. Olympia wasn't even in the game, you know, at this point last year. She was added in February of last year. So a character that wasn't even in the game, Seggo put in the work, learned, you know, mastered the character, and Cake was still able to work around it.
Yeah, and
Cake who's willing to sit down and study, right? Like that's why winning against Cake across multiple events is so hard for the vast majority of players, right? It's very, very rare to have a player that can like consistently do that, right? We've only seen like a few. Like there was that span of time where Bio did it. There was Mike, right? The raster. But aside from that, like getting that consistent win rate on him, very, very hard.
Yeah, it's funny that you mentioned Mike because I feel like he is the one where like because he never was so consistent in entering, he's the one who probably has like the record over Cake, right? In terms of like
Probably
the high
lifetime,
competition.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think
Absolutely.
maybe lifetime. Yeah, he might actually have the record.
He's just he's probably if he's watching right now sitting at home, be like, I could have done it. You guys, you keep losing to Cake. If I was there, I could have done it.
Yeah, he's over there with Bullets and Renzo, and the others just like, yeah, you know, if it was me and Grizz, if it was me and Grizz, like, listen.
Yeah,
Yo, my master, kind of nasty. But we do have the champion
We do
here.
have the champion here as we're talking of Mike this whole time. I think ready for his winner's interview.
Yeah, ready for his winner's
all
interview.
right.
Getting over here with a big trophy. Do you want me to step out so you two can interview the champion?
I mean, if you have any questions for Akashi, I would love to hear them as well. But it's up to you.
I mean, like, I wanted to know why you actually took him to Abyss, because it's. Yeah, I was curious about that, but I mean, like.
I'm also curious about it. If any of you guys know.
You were just like, I just feel like it's a random kind of day, you know.
Come over here, put on a headset so the people at home can hear your answer. Yeah, of course. We can hold that for you.
Yeah, give it this one.
I should be using your actual Thank you. Yeah, the FD pick. First of all, I want to say I hate that stage of Forsburn. I think it's so bad. But
I was saying 99% of Forsburn players like hate that. Stage.
including me.
Yeah, including you. Yeah, and you're the Forsburn.
Yeah, the only reason is that I think Olympia gets so much off of platforms. Like, because I mean up air into up B. I mean anything into up smash. It's mainly the combos into up B. If they're on a platform, you get caught by an up air, up B, dead like 70.
Yeah, exactly.
And then it's like, what if there's no platforms?
What
then?
Yeah, exactly. It showed because you were starting to use Kate more to anti-air, and you were starting to space around the moves, and that sort of made Seggo start to second guess a lot of the decisions he was doing. Like he stopped pulling the trigger like right away on the upbeats, and you were able to start drifting a little more, air dodging through them, and starting to actually punish them a lot more. And you were chasing a lot more with up air too, like super high up.
Yeah. I almost never do that. It just like. I just needed some percent.
Yeah, like I have the lead. I need to convert.
Yeah.
And that game, I know that game too. Like you got caught off stage in the reset. You got caught off stage, and I know like in that moment it's like, oh frick, I had no air dodge. I have nothing. I have my smoke and my double jump, and like that is it.
Yeah, Seggo did an amazing job edge guarding. Like every game, every set, it was one of the hardest I've ever been edge guarded. I don't know what to do.
It's understandably so. Yeah, like
it felt like there were so many mix-ups on mix-ups. Is like we're both feeling each other out in the edge guard. And then like every time I'm like, okay, what else can I do to mix him up so that he's thrown up just a little bit, even if he can cover it, right? Just like make him think about this one next time.
Yeah, just give him more mental stacks to
Yeah.
kind of like deal with. Like, is he gonna do the double clone thing? Because I'd completely forgotten about the fact that you could use the clone to break the crystal for you, so you don't even have to worry about going back on the stage and getting crystallized.
Yeah, that one was mostly me just like hoping the clone would do that. I'm just like, please clone just this time, just once.
It's like Dan knows about the AI. Dan's got you. Dan's got
Yeah,
you.
I think I programmed that AI, so yeah, I can't trust that it's gonna be gonna do the smart thing ever. Yeah.
Oh, there you go. All right.
On the topic of like the edge guarding duration, I know Stats of Aether, Rose was showing me like the numbers because she counted out like the people who have edge guarded you the longest, and I think Seggo had edge guarded you for 40 straight seconds at one point at Heatwave.
That is.
So like yeah, Seggo is extremely good at edge guarding.
That's pretty funny.
Yeah, that's the Forsburn life though. It's like
Yeah.
you're a monster on stage, but the second you get put off stage, if someone's able to like figure out like the habits that you have,
Yeah.
it can be so tough to get back on. And again, like I think the FD game, like as much as Forsburn doesn't like that stage, I think it was just a shift for both you in how you were able to approach him on other stages, because you took him to Treetop like right after that.
He took me to Treetop.
Oh, he took you to
Yeah.
Treetop
I was
right after,
surprised
yeah.
you didn't strike Treetop. What did you? I was curious to know what your bans were.
I was banning every time Aramata and Rockwall, and then
Yeah.
every time Julesville, except for the very last game where I banned Julesville.
Oh,
Okay. Yeah.
Oh wait, no, I think I messed up. In Forest Floor, but I
Forest.
banned Julesville the last game. That's
Okay,
what I meant to say.
Yeah, that makes sense. Because I know that he used Aramata a lot at Heatwave, because like that
Yes.
was like again, like with the platform so high, and Olympia could just easily do up air, double jump up there, and then you're up there with such a small ceiling. And she's got all of her resources just kind of like, well, you're dead at 50.
Yeah.
Like, what are you going to do about that?
Especially at PPS, I remember that was a very early stock that you
PPS?
yeah,
What is that one?
It was the previous event.
I don't
It was a
remember.
gold tier event.
What's the full name?
It's PPS.
Okay.
You know
stands
the
for
popular melee
P per
player,
smash,
PPMD? It's kind of like that. Yeah.
Right, okay.
Yeah, of course. You know, not necessarily erasure, just a revision.
How dare you mix us up when we're supposed to be interviewing you?
No, you're right. I'm so sorry.
Okay, one thing that I want to know, though, is there was such a change in the feel for you in the winner set against Seggo as opposed to like the loser set in Grands and stuff. And I'm curious whether there was any time for you to really, what you did between those 2 times that you played that helped you make such a huge adaptation.
SBS told me some stuff that I won't tell you guys.
I see. Secret.
Esports managed.
Honestly, it's really not that much of a secret. I just, if I can get like one more win off of Seggo with them, I'll take it.
Yeah,
But it's nothing too crazy. But there were some minor things where he was like, I noticed this out of you. Oh, one thing that I think would be super obvious if you just like watch them back that SBS told me is that when you get crystallized off stage, tech it, he's always going to F smash, air dodge, and place. Yeah. And he told me that, and I was like, that is pretty smart.
We saw it
That's
right
pretty
away,
good.
too. Yeah.
Yeah, we started seeing you air dodge down more,
Yeah.
neutral air dodge, just to kind of.
You know, the first time I did it, I died anyway, and I was like, thanks. Thanks, man.
But there was
Real
something
useful.
There was something there. There was something there for sure.
He had the idea. That was the important part. He was like, listen, I want to help you out. Like, okay, one thing, one thing, we talked about grand finals a lot. Losers finals started off pretty spooky at first, because I know that, like, you know, Soul Rifle is Soul Rifle. He's obviously very, very good. But, like, there was such, like, a shift from games 2 to 3. And then the rest of the set just seemed like you just had him, like, locked down.
Yeah.
Like, what changed from game 2 to 3 that, like, really kind of set that sort of momentum in your favor?
Well, going into it, I didn't prepare a lot for Soul Rifle. I was still, like, on the mind of, I need to figure out what to do against Seggo.
Yeah.
And so I went into it kind of, like, not really focused on Soul Rifle. And I got Soul Rifle, and I was like, wait a minute, hold on. So before game 3, I was kind of more or less just running at him, right? And then to start game 3, I was like, okay, I just need to take my time, make sure I'm not near Lily, and try to play my neutral in better positions than I was before. Because before it was like, okay, I'm Platra up fair, let's just hit him. Right?
Let's get this over with.
Yeah, so something where. Because I felt so confident going into him because the sets are generally not close between me and him. And normally when I'm feeling very confident like that, it's because I can run them over. I forgot he's the player that even when it's not close, it's because I'm specifically not doing that. So I was trying to run him over, and he will never let that happen against anyone. He will never get run over. And I was just like, let's really slow this one down and take my time.
Yeah. I saw that, like, I think the Blazing Hideout game, like, really kind of helped out with that. Because, again, like, Lily, a lot less useful on platforms on that stage, and it gives you more of a comfort zone to kind of, like, try and figure out how to play around it a little bit more. Because that bled into Game 5 where, like, you had this whole, like, 60% combo on the left side of force floor. Like, you were basically just, like, weaving around, like, just that small little bit of space you had to deal with, and then got onto the platform after the spike there, and then parried Lily, and then continued converting. It's like, oh, you know, just Lily's watching her BFF kind of get messed up. I'm gonna parry that real quick, and then just kind of go back to messing her up. All right, no big deal. Like, goodness gracious, it's incredible.
You're a monster sometimes.
Yeah, no, it's.
I forgot I didn't tweet yet. Hold on.
You want to live tweet before we gotta wrap it up?
Yeah, I should. Do you
Well, actually-
guys have any ideas for what I should?
Well, I mean, I think right now Dan has something he wants
You want
to
to at Sam?
talk about a little bit, right, Dan?
Well, we're going to close out. When we wrap it up here, we'll be showing, well, like we always do here at Rivals Vita, we got a little tease, a little announcement for the Rivals faithful.
What?
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah, if we're ready to wrap it up, then, yeah, we can, we're going to cut to a trailer